Hi everyone, it's January 25th, 2012, and I'm in a shopping complex on Wanamaker Road in Topeka, Kansas. I was going to visit a few friends who work in one of these stores that I used to work with years ago at a chain called Walden Books, which was part of the Borders group. At that time, the largest bookstore chain in the U.S. by number of stores, not by sales, however. I think that title goes to Barnes & Noble and has for the last 15 years or so. And just being here kind of gives me some nostalgia of working with several of these people who now work at one of these stores, because it's kind of cool how they all, at least 4 of them, found a way to go back to that old team that existed before. The manager and assistant manager both hold the same titles that they did years ago. But what it makes me think of, since I missed their opening hours, I was going to say hi, but they closed at 8 o'clock, is how many businesses that I have worked at over the years no longer exist. I first started working in 2001, and I did have one job that just lasted a short time. It just didn't work out for me, and back behind here, where you can see an intersection, that business is over that way. And the day before I started work there, I was driving by in a thunderstorm and lightning struck my car. It was kind of a warning not to go there. That business still exists, but Walden Books, a leather coat store I worked at, and 1 or 2 other places just don't exist anymore, even as a company. Not only did the branch close, but the whole company ceased to exist. It reminded me of bookstores in the U.S. When I grew up in Topeka in the 90s, mainly, there were at least 12 chain bookstores units that I can recall going to. And as of now, a chain called Hastings is closing, and that just leaves 1. There is Barnes & Noble in Topeka, Kansas. Interestingly, the used bookstores that people said would be the first to go are the only thing left standing, because they have, for the most part, moved to low income, low rent, low foot traffic areas where they have lived through bad economies for a long time, and so it's not really any particularly bad deal, and they may actually have experienced a major uptick as people become more budget conscious. But when I went to Barnes & Noble tonight with another friend, each time I've been going, even though I don't like to consume things, I've been buying something because I want to make sure that that store continues to exist. There's no other commercial intellectual gathering point in the city besides cafes. The library will probably always exist because of other community offerings that they have. But after 9 o'clock, they're closed. And it's not really a place that you go for chatting and socializing. You go there to have focused, directed activity. But what I'm getting at is it reminds me of yet another way that capital concentration is happening and has been happening for some time. Lisa Fleur, Slow Motion, sent me a video that kind of sent me into a train of referencing other videos comparing the 1930s recession to now. And one of the survivors or witnesses to that depression said that inflation is really where the recession started, where she was in Oklahoma. And I really think that the official numbers in the United States for inflation for 2011 from, I think it was the Federal Reserve, although I may be misquoting which agency it was, it's either them or the Treasury. They claim that inflation was at 2.43%, and that's below the 20-year historical average. I think anybody who is living anywhere knows that to not be true. And basically you can make numbers say whatever you want them to, but it's my theory that as healthcare has become more expensive and insurance and the institutional costs of operation have gone up, that's just choked out your ability to express your interests commercially. And also it's the fear and some social responsibility. I don't like to spend money on things I don't need, but I've started to do it a little bit in the last year because I feel that's sort of my social obligation at this point, to try to boost other businesses and to get my own name out there, because if you're consuming a little bit more in a focused way, you're going to eventually increase your own customer or employability base, if that makes any sense. And I'm not sure if employability is a word. I don't think it is. Employable for sure. So bear that in mind. If you have extra money to put out there, don't be extravagant or foolish, but if there's a place that you think is ethical and you like going there, don't just wait for it to die and disappear. You have to actively sponsor a place to ensure that it stays. Bookstores are a good place to do that. Because as time goes on, it's going to be harder for people to find a place to land, and we're losing a sense of community by not having these meeting points. So take that as you will. Thanks for watching. Bye.